that we have the foundation and what has it created for you and your life. And I'm very curious. Have you all taken the foundation? Cindy?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. But everybody else has? Cool.
I have, yes. Yeah.
Cool. So I've taken it 5 times. I take it every year. And for me, it's an absolutely amazing and life-changing class every time I take it. Every time there's something new. And yeah, I would love to. Who wants to talk first? Who wants to talk about the foundation first?
When I first took it, I didn't even know what I was signing up for, to be honest. The energy was right here, but I was walking in blind. And it did a good job at blasting through some of what I thought was reality. And it was able to give me some tools to use for things that I thought I had no choice in. So it kind of expanded my world from reaction to action and shook me up, I guess.
Cool. Cool. Would you say you have like a big takeaway? What would you say was your biggest takeaway from the foundation class?
My biggest takeaway. Being able to be in the question. Being able to like to say stay in the question, but being able to be in the question and the tools to get you into that moment and to open up. I mean, being able to be in the question then leaves you with greater possibilities in whichever situation you're going through or dealing with. So more possibilities, I guess, is pretty big.
Did it create a change in your whole family, or was it just for you? Or did it?
No. And no, the ripple effect definitely started, because, like they say, when you start to make a new choice for yourself, then everything else around you has shifted. And it's not in a good or a bad way. It's just different. And from there, everybody else has to make a new choice because I've made a new choice. And it's pretty incredible kind of to see the change in other people as well, because then you also can give them the possibility for something greater as well. I definitely followed the energy and what feels light. So if it feels light for you, go for it.
Okay, though. Will you take it again?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool.
Yes, please.
Tell us about foundation, Wendy.
No, foundation, yeah, rocked my world. When I first took it, the first time I took it, like Nicole said, I didn't know what I was getting into. The only reason I took it was because I needed something so I could continue to teach. So I figured, okay, I'll take the foundation. And I went from my world being here to it's not what I learned in the foundation, it's what I unlearned in the foundation.
Wow.
I completely unlearned my whole existence. It really opened up a space I can't even describe to people what it changed for me.
Cool. Awesome. So would you take it again?
I've taken it twice, and I'm going to take it again this year, and I'll take it every year, and maybe twice a year and 3 times a year. I'll just continue to take it.
That's awesome. So, like I asked Nicole, what happened in your family?
It seemed everybody changed, but in reality, I was the one who changed. And my perception of everybody else in my whole entire family changed. The way I saw people, the way I deal with people, the way I am with everybody has totally changed, which makes it seem that everybody else has changed in my life.
Cool. What would you like to let others know about foundation who haven't taken the class
Take
yet?
it, and take it some more.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. If you have not taken the foundation, yeah, I would highly recommend. Try it at least once.
Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Hi, Deborati. And hi, Debbie. Woo! Hi. Good to see you. Who's next? Who's next?
So I'll go.
Okay, Vicky.
And I'm just going to go from a perspective of someone who actually didn't take a live foundation class with like being 4 days with a facilitator live.
Yes.
I took it live stream a couple of times now with Gary and Dane. And I mean, of course it changed my life, my Lord. It's like Wendy said, it's like the unlearning of everything. And I mean, the tools, sometimes I'll just pull up the foundation manual and I just look at things and I'm like, I didn't even see that it was there before. So, but from someone who actually took it online, I know that I have heard so many people talking about taking a foundation class in person. And it's definitely, I can absolutely see the benefits of it. Because first of all, we have the gift of the body processes. And there are a lot of beautiful body processes. I'm not sure if they're added some more to the new foundation manual, but just the gift of actually spending the time having a bars run, and then throughout the class for the 4 days, and then having the body processes done, and you gifting and receiving, it is absolutely beneficial. So I know for me, definitely I would recommend taking the foundation in person. And every class is different. So when you take it online with Gary and Dane, there are a lot of different things are happening, and that's the rewrite. But the beauty of taking it with a facilitator live is the manual is already there, the new manual. So you get to go, you actually take whatever was the rewrite and you just fly. So I would definitely recommend for people to take it live. And the body processes are just, you have to take it live. Because the body processes actually, when you run body processes and actually you have your bars run through the foundation, it lets you go of the limiting thoughts and feelings and emotion, all the crap in your head so much faster than for someone who just watches it live stream like I did. And I was so fried constantly. And I wish I had someone running my bars throughout the class. And then when you have questions, yes, you can go and ask questions online, but there's, because you're so fried because you haven't had your bars run, you don't even know what to ask. That was for me anyways. But having the body processes and really learning the hands-on, I don't think I've done MTVSS, except, well, I've taken the 3-day body classes. But just like learning the MTVSS, which is one of the most amazing processes that Access, one of the most amazing processes that Access has, and actually really doing it in person, I will definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents for, if anyone's considering taking a foundation, I would absolutely recommend taking in-person foundation with a facilitator.
Thank you for that, Vicky. And
Good advice.
I've taken it in person, but I also take the rewrite every year. And I agree, it's amazing to be on the rewrite, but like having this personal touch and this personal facilitation. And usually the group is not as big. When you're in the rewrite, there's like, I don't know, hundreds of people. So when you ask a question, you're in line somewhere. If you like in a more intimate setting, you can ask your question and you get facilitation right there. And you can run body processes and bars at the same time. And Yeah, and
what I find too is that the group of people that comes for a person, like a class in person, it's amazing how I've perceived it, even like with body classes, for example, or even with bars classes, though, if we facilitate bars classes, it's like the people that come together in a class, it's like they're just absolute contribution to each other. And it's like the topics that are being discussed, they're absolutely relate to every person that comes to that specific class.
totally. You always get the right? Like the group setting is always.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So yeah, if you have a chance, take it with a facilitator in person and online, both.
Yeah.
I would say for me, I would probably, if I were to do it again, I would probably take it with actually facilitator in person first. And then it's gonna you ease into it, and then you take the Gary and the Danes because they, my God, you're like, what the hell just happened?
Who wants to be next?
Oh, I'll go next.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Good, good. I took the foundations in person, and I also took it online with Gary and Dane. And I agree with Vicky, when you're in with that group and you're getting the body process and the bars run for 4 days, like my body didn't even recognize me after I was done. My husband, and Les always says, when I'm done taking an access class, it's like I'm walking into walls because my body doesn't even know me anymore. And but it's an amazing feeling though too. And I think if somebody really wants friggin' change, if they say they want change, they've got to do the foundations class. I have had so much change in my personal life, my business. It's like I truly believe in magic after the foundations. I really do. And things really have opened up for me for my business, and my even change with me with Les. And when I listen to the foundations online, even he was hearing it, because he's walking around the house and did he just say that? And I'd say yes, he did. When Gary and Dane get going, and so it's really changed him a lot too. So I don't know what else to say, but it's just a lot of change. And,
So a lot of change. Like, a lot of people are kind of scared sometimes of change because they don't know what's coming. So how does the foundation assist with that?
well, with the body processes, I think how much I love my body processes, and that MTVSS is one of the best I think I've had it run about, I'm sure, 40, 50 times on myself since then. So I like it. MTVSS, BMM. I don't know. Is there any new ones coming up in the new foundations?
Well, you'll find out.
I can hardly wait. But even if there isn't, just having those processes done, just having those body processes and the verbal processing, I mean, it just twists your mind and puts it just when it's all said and done, you're more clear, you've got more space than you've ever had in your life. It's just amazing.
Cool. Thank you, Cynthia.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Who else? Who's next? Devarati. Yay.
Hello.
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 How are you?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. I just had a weekend of teaching bars and body processes, and I just love this, how much even more space
Yeah, you're
I discover after a class. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing, and you can shine like this after a foundation.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the first one I took was a while ago. I don't know, 2010, 2011, and I was taking it because friends of mine were teaching it. I was okay, let's go check this out in London, and I do love the body processes. It's kind of one of the modalities that I've been able to see change. Like, people can experience real change very quickly, in their body. Like, I saw changes, like things being eliminated off my skin, within a month they're gone. I kind of I forgot about it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're not there anymore, and I just saw a real change. And there is body processes in the foundation. And I love, it's clearing. It's like letting go of what you think you are so you can experience more of who you are in this moment. And yes, it is change, and sometimes change is scary for people. But it also gives you tools to operate right now. So if there's something coming up, you can go and look at the book at the index and see, okay, what do I want to apply? What can I use for what's going on in my life right now? Whether it's relationship, whether it's financial, whether it's family, whether it's intimacy with self. Just there's so much in there that it's like you have a whole new toolbox that you can use. When I first took the class, it was like, at the time I had been teaching meditation, so I knew space and consciousness. And it was like everything I knew about consciousness, like, written down, and teaching people about consciousness. And then more. It's just like, okay, this is what you know, and then, okay, there's more. And I always what I love about Access Consciousness is they're always evolving more and more shows up in the manuals. Like there's things that was in the foundation now that are in the bars class, and there's stuff that's been removed from foundation. I mean, it's still in the reference material for facilitators to pick up from, but the manuals are developed like to get about 80 to 90% of the people what they would require to move. And what I love about this particular one is they've taken a lot out, which has allowed more space for questions and facilitation, and to kind of look at things even deeper if that's what the people in the class want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more free flowing now. What actually gives us more time to spend on a more personal basis, actually, and more facilitation. What is really, really cool.
Yeah, so it's a magical, like every time after a class there's just even more magic and more possibilities, and then knowing and really experience the fact that there is more possibilities. I just find even more choices and more choices, and more magic shows up and more choices. And so you just use the tools and they work. They show you they work.
They just work.
And I love that they give you tools to, like, okay, you've kind of whatever you've let go and change, and sometimes when you're having such an experience of space, people go, okay, they don't know what to do. And so they give you tools like what's next, and what choices do I want to make today to have more fun, or what choices for business. And so they give you questions to play with. It's like, so you can have and create and generate even more in your life.
Yeah. There's no end to this.
No.
No end to this.
No, there's no end to it.
And people are asking me too, what is this class all about? And I'm thinking, I can't really tell you. So I thought if we get all together and share our experiences, it gives people a little bit of an idea what's actually going on during the foundation class. So, and
what I love about it too, it's not just for people that want to move on to be facilitators or to facilitate bars classes and other classes. It's for the everyday people. It's like whatever you want to create in your life and your living, in your businesses, or where you're working, it'll just give you so much more tools to live life more in more fullness and not in the mind.
Yeah. Who wants to go next? Donna.
So I'll go. Yeah, I want to just pop in on the gratitude train a little bit. I am so, like, how I'm here from Colorado, I don't even know how this showed up in my universe, but I'm so grateful. And I'm doing a business coaching thing right now, and one of the big questions is why did you choose to facilitate access? And this call right now is reminding me, thank you so much for asking me to go back and look at what showed up in my first foundation class. For me, taking a bars class was so different. It was like a totally different language. It's like POC and POD, what? What is this, these bars points? And it was a totally, and I left the bars class just wanting more. And then I got the taste of the energy of foundation. One of my good friends was a facilitator at the time, and she was always doing classes, and I was like, oh my God, what is actually going on? But I got a taste of the energy of it, that there was more. There was a bigger, deeper conversation that was something that I hadn't in all my years on the planet ever heard. Like I knew that from the bars class. Like this is too weird. It's too different. I've done everything under the sun, but I've never heard this stuff. How is that even possible? And there's more. There's 4 more days of, at that time it was called Foundation Level 1, and you could take them separately. It was like, oh my God, I could do 2 more days in a foundation class. And in that class, like, we were talking about things like the golden planet, and I just got this sense of like, I'm like real vulnerable in a super vulnerable space right now, but it was like just this greater sense of me that's bigger than the small life. And that's kind of judgy about my life. Just included the life that I was living at the time, but it was a sense that there was a much, much more that I could tap into and that I could be. And yeah, magic. Thank you guys for all talking about it. I really, truly am grateful to be here tonight. Really, really, really. Like part of, I think, the showing up in my world is just so that I could tap into the energy of that. It's like the foundation, like when I look now at all those years ago when I took my first foundation class, when I actually acknowledge all the changes and how they're still infiltrating my life, like I'm here tonight. From that this is, 5 or 6 years later, that foundation class opened doors of possibilities that are still magicalizing. Is that a word? I just made up a word. They're still magicalizing.
I love it.
Good word.
I love it. I'm going to
Good
turn it into my vocabulary.
Yeah, so it's like the choices that we make when we make them, like everybody's saying, like you just don't really know what the class is. You just know the energy. You just know something more. You don't really know what it is, but it's like I'm here talking to people in Canada, and I just saw some of you guys in Costa Rica, and when I found access, that definitely was not a possibility. Like I'm like, hey, I just saw you. We were just having dinner out watching the Cayman. Hi, Deborati. Hi, Deb. We were just all together. In my world before I took that foundation class, like, and for me, the money was, I was like, there's no way I could pay that much money for a class. And I did. Somehow it showed up, and it's like more of that has infiltrated my life than I thought was possible at the time. And I still today, with like just being here tonight, I'm so grateful. Like I'm like, oh yeah, still more is possible. Like still there is more available.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I had the same thing when I took my first foundation class. I thought, how do I ever come up with the money? How do I ever pay?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you find yourself traveling the world and creating the money for other classes and for more, and think, where is it even coming from? It's like, but it's magic starts with this class. It truly does. Yeah,
but it's like the actual life. It's like the magic. I used to be an English teacher, and I love reading. I'm kind of a hermit. I could sit in the house and read books forever. And so, I would read fantasy and science fiction and know about that magic was possible. But it's like you step into a bars class and then you step into a foundation class and you're like, oh no, but that's actually real. Like that stuff is not just what I was reading in a book. Like that's actually, there are limitless possibilities. It's just my point of view that stops any of that. And it really is the place where you get the energetic processes for your body. You get the clearings for your world, and you also get to be around people who are living lives that are so different and so unique. You're like, maybe my life doesn't have to be the way it is right now. Maybe I could travel too. Like maybe I could, whatever it is that you think you possibly could. I was a single mom, like where I was like, no, I can't. I can't. I'm on welfare. I'm a single mom. I can't do any of this. And it's like, I saw other people that had similar circumstances, like having these amazing lives. And then it was like, wait a second. Maybe it's my point of view that's creating that reality. Maybe I can apply these tools and change that. And I have. And how does it get better?
That's so awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The way I stumbled upon foundation was totally accidental. I took bars. And after I took the first bars class, I'm like, what was that all about? I knew I went through 8 hours, but what was that? Like all these people talk so weird. Before the end of the day, I said, okay, maybe I'll try out level 1 and see what happened. If my client said, agreed to change the appointment that I have with them. Obviously, my client was willing to say, go ahead, no worries. So I show up for level 1. Everyone was laughing their head off. I have no idea, but they were talking about energy pull, whatever stuff. I have no idea what they were talking about. Next thing I know, at 10 o'clock, I heard myself saying, I'm taking level 1, whatever, after. So I didn't know who told me to put up my hand for level 2, but I did. And that 4 days was just totally mind-blowing. Talk about everything that I've never heard of, I have information on, but I require more. It was just really, really amazing 4 days. And technically, I have 6 days out of 7 days of access in order to change my head to receive something that I've never heard of before up until then. So the experience was amazing. And what I have to say about Foundation is truly, if anyone that likes to create change, dive in those 5 days of change. You know, it really helps you speed up the whole process of creating the change and having the information, having the tools, having the space for yourself to take care of you only and forget about the rest of the world. Is me time, which is perfectly fine. And then what else I can say about Foundation also is like those tools you will always use. If you don't take anything else and just have Foundation, you'll be playing with those tools for the rest of your life, and you will never be out of tools, which is amazing for someone to take one class and be able to use it for the rest of their life if they don't want to repeat the class. And then I also did online, just like Vicky. The only thing is I was the part host, so I hosted class and I have people play with me in my house, which was really, really nice. It's another way of having the class and have bars exchange and body process while still doing it online without traveling. So it's now so many ways to play with Foundation that I just like, there's no reason anybody can say they can't take the class anymore. Any which way you like, you can play with Foundation. See, Foundation is like learning the tools, and Foundation opened the doors to many, many classes that otherwise we wouldn't be able to take. So after Foundation, you will be able to move to body process class, like 3-day body class or other classes. So again, it's like, it's the next steps that gives you tools. And then from there, if you find this is the path you like to go, it just opened the doors for you to make choices. And then there are so many classes, whatever that suits you at the time, you can now step into that. I don't know. I just love Foundation, and now it's so much more ease.
What's different in your life now?
Oh my gosh.
What's different?
Well, first of all, Foundation itself, I mean, other classes created change, but Foundation really teaches me to really learn to question everything that I assume was the way. And it talks, because it doesn't just cover one area. It's like so many aspects of it, like talk about entities, talk about body, talk about relationship, talk about so many different areas. So it really allowed me to look at all the things that I have taken as Bible in the past, and now asking questions, is that really true, or does it work for me, and stuff like that. I just have to rewind back a little bit, was like before Access Consciousness, I was basically a personal development junkie. And all those time with all the learning, I've been programmed a lot with other people's right and wrong or other people's point of view. And I just took it in as this is the way that they told me works. So I try to fit myself into what guru said work for them or create success for them or whatever to them. And foundation like really allowed me to look at, like, you know, before that I looked into spirituality, religion, so many different areas, trying to move myself forward in life. Now with foundation, it gives me a lot of like a lot of way to look at life and different area of my life where I can start asking questions and really focusing on what work, like, does it work for me? Is it true for me? And all that stuff without any judgment of me, thinking that, oh, if I don't fit into the rest of the world's way of thinking, there must be something wrong with me.
Yeah.
So foundation just blew my world apart totally.
Cool.
And then also I want to talk about money part. Personally, I think Access Consciousness is the cheapest program out there in this planet that I personally have attended. I don't know how many of you have done all the classes. I haven't, and in a little short of 3 years, I have changed so much. One of the baggage that I carry for 30 some years is like totally blown away. It's just, I can't even, there is no words to describe.
There's definitely more ease and more fun in your life.
Oh yeah. Yes. When Donna says she's a hermit, I'm like, no way, you haven't seen a hermit yet. And yet now I'm able to speak, like joke, laugh at myself, tell jokes, and like, man, I would describe, I was the most ain't no Chinese person you could find. I look at me now. I'm controllable.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Wendy. That was a good way to end. Awesome. Thank you. Next.
Okay, I'll go quickly. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course.
And I'll make it really quick and sweet. Foundation for me, I could be a little bit of a groupie on it. I've taken 3 in the past year.
Wow.
And I think what I like about foundation is more the soft invitation that it is to everybody. I've been to, like I said, 3 classes. Not once did I feel I didn't belong. I was being intimidated. I was being pushed somewhere that I didn't want to go. Each of them has always just been an invitation to go where I chose to go. And that's one of the things I love about foundation. And the other thing is that there's, 665 facilitators throughout the world who will teach foundation. You can go anywhere in the world and get a foundations class. And to me, that's a magic of access and being able to travel and be able to see other people, see other worlds, and still expand your world.
Cool.
That's my part.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Debbie.
No problem. So nice to see so many beautiful faces that I already know and so many more that I'm going to get to meet. So
Good to see you.
yeah.
So there's Pat. Patricia.
Well, hello.
Woohoo.
I'm still trying to figure out my phone here. So I've listened to everybody's comments, and I've had a little bit of everything, but I think the biggest change in me with foundations was judgments, like releasing judgments of myself, and especially with my family members, because I come from a big family, and it's been a good, gentle change for me.
That's awesome. So judgment, what changed?
What changed is that I don't get my back up as much as I used to. And when I do, if I feel it coming, I have the tools to change it.
Cool.
So I'm staying in the moment more. I loved it. Yeah.
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 Yeah, totally. So did your family change with you taking foundation?
Oh, no, my family, no, they're not changing at all, but I find the biggest change is me. Yeah. Yeah. I'm more open about what I talk about and what I've always thought was possible. I'm definitely more open with that.
Okay. So more allowed.
I'll take it again, that's for sure.
Cool. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody
You're
else?
welcome. Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to add before we end this call?
Well, I'd like to ask Cindy, because she hasn't taken the foundation. She's here. She's
Yeah.
listened to all of us. Is there anything that you have to contribute and ask questions about?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm pretty new at the bars. I just took the bars with Angela in May, and then I didn't practice at all. You know, we all have an excuse to be busy or whatever, but Angela invited me to a energy exchange at her beautiful cabin in the boonies on Saturday, and I went and I partnered up with another lady, and she ran bars on me, and then I ran bars on her. And oh my God, it's like finally I get it. I have had such clarity and such I can't even describe it. Like, it's just my life, even since Saturday, is so amazing. The changes, the opening of the mind, like so much. It's, as you all know, it's hard to put into words, right? So
Exactly.
I just feel like my eyes have just opened, and I want to, and I just want them to stay open, and I'm curious, and I'm hungry for more, and yeah, I want more of this. So I'm really, I'm hooked. I'm hooked for sure.
Cool.
So until Saturday, I hadn't even heard of a foundations class. I had to Google it to figure out what it even was before, and I wasn't even sure if I belonged in this conversation, but I thought I was invited, so of course I belong here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for all sharing your stories, and it's so exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
Aw, thank you for having me, ladies.
It's totally
The glow of something new, and the curiosity of what else is possible. I love that question.
Yeah.
I'm just I know I'm in the right place. I know. You know when you know.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's actually what this work is all about, that we really acknowledge what we already know, because we all know.
Yeah.
We all know how to live our lives, and
it's just it's just so funny. Like, even like yesterday, I went for a walk, and it was dark outside, and the sky was black, and it was about to open up and rain, and all I could see was brightness.
Cool.
And I haven't wiped the smile off my face, and it's just wake up happy, and so it's exciting, to just think about the possibilities of what else.
What else?
Or is it? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. So, anybody else would like to say anything before we?
Yeah, I would like. When Pat was talking, I remembered something. I was like, I just love how fast the change happens. It's just experiencing the students in the class, and within a couple of hours, like life has totally changed. And many will say, and we have another 3.5 days of this. So it is very life changing, and it gives you tools to continue. It's just not 4 days and life changes. It's like, okay, these are the tools you can take forward. But I just so love to see the difference in people within an hour, 2 hours to the fourth day. It's magical.
Yeah.
And the joy and the peace, and for them to see that they can make choices and experience the peace, and that it's okay to operate in their life without having a mind. That you still can operate in your life when your mind's not engaged. And I just love the magic and how it changes people's lives.
Wow. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for that.
Very welcome.
Magic. And that gave me goosebumps when you said that. It's really like, Nicole, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Wendy had already kind of touched on it, but I'm not sure for you guys, but I find we all, you've taken it once and we want to take it again and again and again, and you can't get enough of it. The reason I chose to take it again was after you take it, and you go home after the 4 days, my life went from, I took everything very seriously and it just wasn't fun. And I went home and I had so many tools that I could actually play with. And I don't think when I went home after the first foundations that I would even say play, but that's exactly what I was doing. I was playing with my life. I was playing with money. I was playing with relationships. I was playing with the different scenarios. And it had so much lightness and so much fun that I just wanted to keep going. And I wanted more of that, more fun, even in those situations that you would, maybe your point of view was that it would be heavy. It was still light and it was still fun. So it's fun to play with your life.
It is, yeah.
It totally is, yeah.
No, it's no fun at all.
No? Thank you.
Yeah, there's so much laughter that goes on in the foundation. It's amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing. It's a different life. I must say, I find myself, I really don't even notice myself. I used to be so serious about everything and like how other people were behaving and acting around me, and I took everything totally personal. It was always all about me kind of thing, right? And I'm looking back and I'm laughing my ass off, like literally, like I'm thinking, oh man, how were you able to live in this space? But you don't know till you get actually out of this space into a new space, and then you look back and then you think, oh my gosh, I could never ever go back there. And I have never ever had so much fun in my life since. Life is just like, I wake up in the morning and I play with everything, even with what we call the shitty stuff.
Yeah.
I play with it. I totally make it a game, and I ask my questions, and I can even if I feel really not good, I have a crappy day, I can totally play with that too, and I can make fun of it and turn it around much faster. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to miss it for nothing. What I learned since I started Access in, I think it was 2013. If you would give me like $100 million to go back, I wouldn't. I would not go back, not for nothing. It was just like, so much more ease.
Yeah, I find that even before Access for me, it was, you know what, my life was good. My life was
mine too. Yeah, my life.
I had a fantastic life. The Access, since Access, my life has gotten so much better.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it could get any better, and it got so much better.
Yeah.
I'm having way too much fun.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Find foundation classes on the Access Consciousness website for your area. And you can also travel if you would like to, or if you prefer that. But there's like all kinds of foundation classes with all kinds of facilitators all over the world. Thank you.